Okay, you guys ready? 3, 2, 1. Ah! Hi. I know what you're thinking. Hey, didn't you just go blonde like yesterday? And yes, I did. And I was very, very ready to stay blonde for a minute because I truly feel my best when I'm blonde. It's easy, especially in the summertime, because you don't have to worry about swimming or keeping the color up. However, we are still not able to go to salons to get our hair done, and my blonde is reaching a point of offensive. If it wasn't so harsh, I feel like I could get away with it just being a really long balayage vibe, but it's just really bothering me. And I also decided that if there's ever a time to try a hair color that you're afraid of, it's now, because I'm not really shooting stuff anymore. I only have one music video left. I've been wanting to do green for a very, very long time, and I figure now is the time to do it because A, I can't keep up with my blonde right now. B, I wish so desperately that I could get my hair professionally done, but Guy Tang is a friend of mine, and he gave me some hair dye for me to do it myself. He told me how to mix it. I've been dying to try green hair. The first time I was ever with Guy Tang, he was like, let's do green. And I was like, okay, yeah, I'll try green. And I've never done it. So now we're gonna do it, but I want like a deep foresty emerald green. So he gave me his green Aurora, and he gave me purple Raven to mix into it to make it a little bit deeper. That in of itself is stressing me out, that all of this responsibility is on me to mix the proper colors. It actually looks pretty dark, but I know that it doesn't stay that dark. Here's the purple. He said to use a tiny bit. I don't have hair supplies, but I do have art supplies. One little dot. That was a big dot. I don't know, I never know. I also considered trying to bleach my own hair and get to blonde myself. And that to me just feels too scary, because that's not a color that you can correct. That's like your hair's f***ing damaged. He said to test it like, huh. I also almost went back to brown, but then I was like, already. Okay, so my hands are for sure gonna stain badly. I actually have a billion pairs of gloves and I can't find any of them. Quite a bit more of the purple. I feel like nobody realizes what a great friend Guy Tang is. Like, yes, he's a very talented hair artist. Obviously, he makes his own products and has his own empire, but he's such a good friend. He's just that guy who will always reach out and let you know you're doing great and cheering you on. He downloads, like, buys all of my music. He like shows my music out at his hair shows, and he just really is so supportive and kind and cares so much about everybody. He also makes music. People don't know that, and I really admire him for following his passions as well, because it's not easy, especially when you're in this space. I obviously understand. People want you to stay in your own lane, and they're like, you can't do that, you're a YouTuber, you can't do that, you're a hairstylist. So when anybody just does what they want to do regardless of what everybody else is saying, I just look at them and I'm like, damn, I'm proud of you. And he tells me all the time how proud he is of me. A little more purple. Worried I'm going a little too dark, but damn it, I went too far. And it stains. Okay. We know for sure now. We already knew, but now we like know. Let's try that again. I'm gonna have a lot of different versions of this color here, which is good. We want variations. What I end up doing every time I try to mix colors is I end up mixing 3 bowls that look exactly the same. Yeah, like those are the same exact. What is wrong with me? Why am I like this? Okay, this is what I got. A very deep green. I have a slightly less deep green, the deepest of the green, and then the brightest of the green, just a little bit of it, because I'm gonna add a little bit of those highlights in, because that one's super vibrant, and I think that's a little bit too Joker-esque for me. I feel like whenever I feel kind of an energy shift or in the universe, sounds so ridiculous, whenever I start feeling like a different person, I know that sounds kind of weird, but whenever I start feeling that way, it helps me to change my appearance in some way, just to, I guess, jumpstart the process. I don't know. Oh, I can tell you guys, I've been keeping it a secret because the charts aren't out yet, but by the time you see this, the charts will be out. My EP made it on Billboard. That's so cool. I know I'm very low energy about it right now because I've already expended all of my excitement over the last couple days. I genuinely just didn't expect it, to the point where I already wrote it off in my head and told myself that that wasn't going to happen. I don't trust this. Whatever. That's a good way to go into it. I said, Gabby, you have to accept the fact that things are different right now. You've lost a lot of support. Your numbers are down. Your engagement's down. You kind of just have to accept the fact that your music isn't going to perform the way you're used to it performing, and you're starting over and you're going to build. Because the thing is, I've charted Billboard before. Medicate was on Billboard, 2A Mirror was on Billboard, Out Loud was on Billboard, Honestly was Billboard. It's always scary to go backwards. I'm somebody who always wants to be progressing. Everything I put out, I want to be able to say this is better than my last. I want to say I worked harder this time, I worked smarter. I'm just realizing what an obscene amount of hair dye I have in front of me right now for how little hair I have. So yeah, I had like fully prepared myself and accepted the fact that I most likely was not going to chart. I told myself this EP is a stepping stone. You're going to put out these feelings that you haven't spoken and that you're not going to speak, because that's the choice that I made. I want to be the person who communicates through my music, period. That's all I want. So when I put out the music videos and I saw that the views were low, obviously it stings. As far as my regular YouTube content, if it doesn't get views, I'm sort of like not that fazed by it. But when it comes to my music videos, you know, I put a lot of time and money, love and passion and work into those. So if it doesn't do well, it's sad. And then looking at that, I'm like, okay, for sure, you're not gonna chart, because if nobody's even looking for it on YouTube, nobody cares about you anymore. And that's been my biggest thing. Are you going to have to give up your dream? Is this something that's no longer attainable for you? Because for so long, my music was one thing that I've always been so confident in. This is what you're meant to do. This is where the people want you to put your time and energy. This is what everything has led up to. Starting a Vine account, making a YouTube channel, writing your book, to writing music, to making more music, to making more music, to writing another book, to writing more music. All of this has led up to this moment, you know? That fear and anxiety of it being taken away from me and not, I don't know. I think I'm being repetitive, and that's what happens when you try to have a conversation while ruining your own hair. But what I'm trying to say is, when it worked out and it charted, oh, by the way, I know that I charted because Billboard emails you, if anybody's wondering how the fuck I know and the chart's not out yet. They email you because they need information for the charts, like your distributor, shit like that. The place that this EP came from was a place of total darkness. I've never been closer in my life to giving up on something, because I'm not somebody who quits. I'm not somebody who bends easily to adversity. In fact, I'd like to think that I tend to strive in adversity. This time around, I was just so tired. And it felt like I reached a place finally where I felt like I had just done the Patreon assembly. I was focusing so much more onto music. My channel was doing okay again. The subscriber loss had slowed down, or I think for a minute stopped entirely, and it felt like I was getting my life back. When I talk about losing subscribers and it being stressful and upsetting, it's not because, oh my God, like all these unsubscribers, I want subscribers. It's more about what it implicates and what it means. And when I see myself losing subscribers or followers, what I see isn't I'm not gonna be a YouTuber anymore. What I see is I need this to be successful in music. And that's kind of the fear that I've been living in for a while. How can I possibly make it in music without this platform and without the support here? My friends and stuff who aren't in the industry, they're just like, it's just followers. Like, why do you care? And I'm like, it's not just followers. It's record labels look at you and they say, hey, you're losing a lot of subscribers. Like, this isn't somebody that I want to invest in because it looks like people are already moving on. Or YouTube stops serving your videos because they recognize your channel as something that people are not interested anymore. So now your videos stop getting served. So again, like hitting Billboard, having pretty much no YouTube support, like they won't trend my videos anymore. The day I put out Broken Girls was the day everything happened, like an hour after I put out my music video, and my music video was trending, and then it was taken off of trending, and then I've never trended again. And I've never had, I think actually maybe once a random video trended for a minute, and then none of my music videos ever trended again. So that's been upsetting, just not having that type of support. But again, that's why it makes it so much more amazing that I'm on Billboard, because I had no help. Like, I did it by my self, and it feels really good to be able to say that. And it also gave me this newfound confidence and faith that I've never had, which is you don't need YouTube to make it in music. You can do it on your talent. You can do it on your merit. You can do it because people care what you have to say. And I'm so excited for the album, guys. Holy shit. That album was in the works since I put out Loud. I put out Loud and the album was already started, and then I put out singles, and then I put out another single, and then I put out another single, and then I put out an EP, and it's like, okay, I'll get to the album. I had planned to release it this year, and then that's when everything happened with the shutdown, and it's like, okay, I can't put out an album not having support. Like, I need to be able to shoot the music videos, I need to be able to take meetings with PR and labels, I need to be able to do press, and I need to be able to actually promote it. Like, I'm not Katy Perry or Taylor Swift or, you know, a big artist who can just put out a project and no matter what, it's gonna do well. Like, I need help, I'm independent. So I wrote Special, and then I had started the concept of Bad Karma right after Two-Way Mirror, and I was like, I'm over this era, I don't wanna write this song, but I've always loved that concept. It was actually started because it felt like every time I would get out of a relationship, it was a toxic boyfriend. I realized I was dating previous versions of myself, and I feel like the universe has a really interesting way of communicating with me. Yes, I do believe the universe is communicating with me. So that's what Bad Karma was actually originally about, dating past versions of myself, and then with each one I would grow, and then I kind of just transformed it to fit what I was feeling now. So then I had Bad Karma and Special. The plan was I was gonna put out 2 singles. That was kind of it. Like, I was gonna put out 2 singles and then work on the album. But then my publishers were like, you're a singer and like your poetry is essentially lyrics. Do you wanna put out a song to promote the book? And I was like, right now I have so much music that I'm still sitting on. I don't wanna keep writing songs. But then I was like, but Dandelion is such a good concept for a song. So then I wrote Dandelion. So then I do my photo shoot with Hawk for Bad Karma before everything shut down. I was just so inspired by that photo shoot to write Glass House. I was like, okay, I'm gonna write Glass House, or rather finish Glass House. I'd already started it, I finished it. And then shut down, and I was like, how fun would it be to write a song over FaceTime and record it on an iPhone? I wrote Happy because I wanted a song on there that shows where I am now, because the whole EP is pretty dark. For the most part, I wanted to tell the full story of this time period of my life, and a big part of it was meeting the love of my life, finding some light in the darkness, and he really truly f***ing pulled me from the darkness and was just here for me by my side. We'd started dating maybe 3 months before everything really went wild, and that's such a make or break time in the relationship, and it would have been very easy for him to say like, hey, this is a lot of drama and chaos, it's a lot to handle right now, and I'm sorry, but I just can't handle it. And I was fully prepared for that, and he didn't. He wanted to be there. He put me first, always. Not letting myself get emotional in this video. I have this period of time where my defenses are up and my walls are up and I won't let anybody in, and I just act like nothing's bothering me and who cares, f it, and everybody knows I'm lying. Then I just finally let it all out, and I feel like that's what's been happening to me the last couple weeks, is all of the pent-up pain that I've been swallowing is finally coming out, and my anxiety's reached a really, really bad point. I'm very, very, very excited about the book though. I finally finished Letters to Strangers. That's the Barnes & Noble edition. And bitch, the thing with writing is it does so much for me emotionally, spiritually, mentally, but it takes me a long time to get to the place where I can write. I tend to avoid the difficult parts until the very last moments. For example, Letters to Strangers is a very, very intense read. I just sob while I'm writing. It's really painful and emotionally draining, and I just sob and sob and sob. This seems a little too dark. That's okay. We're gonna pretend like it's not scary. And I haven't even started the memoir portion of it yet, because I know that that's going to be the most difficult for me. I kind of threw myself into it without fully absorbing what that meant. Telling stories about my life and my childhood and my family and relationships as an adult that have been my best kept secret. So it's really scary. I don't want to obviously upset anybody in my family. I've already spoken to them about it, obviously. You know, I talked to my dad and I asked him how he felt about it. What my dad said was, obviously, it's not my favorite thing, you know, but you know that I would never... What did he say exactly? It was so nice. Basically, I understand the importance of artistic expression, and if it's something you feel you need to do, then I support you. And that was really meaningful and powerful to me, especially knowing that like my dad is an artist. And then my mom, she was a little bit less receptive and supportive of my dad, I would say, but she definitely didn't try to talk me out of it or guilt me in any way, which I did appreciate a lot. Who wants to bet that when I rinse all this dye out that it's going to look like one solid color? This could either be a great idea or a terrible idea because I'm shooting this special music video. Actually, I don't even know when. Hawk does this thing where when he's directing something for me or like planning something for me, he just disappears. And at first, it concerned me. Like the first time and second time we worked together, I was like, what's going on? Like he'll literally sometimes not answer my text for like a long time. And I'm like, oh my God, is he stuck? Is it not gonna happen? And then he'll hit me up and just have the whole thing like fleshed out. He's like, okay, here's exactly what we're doing. So I know that when he's not answering me, it's because he's working. And I really love that about him. I love him in general. He's my favorite person I've ever worked with. Not even just in terms of like direction and music video production. He's my favorite person to work with. He's so creative and talented, but he also is an amazing collaborator and listens. When it comes to my music videos and stuff, I don't have patience when people tell me like, no, I don't want to do it that way. Because if I hire you to do something like in terms of a video that I want, I'm hiring you because I want you to make my vision come to life. I don't want you to like fight me on it. So he just like does what I'm asking, but in the best way possible. Oh my God. I remember the day he called me about Bad Karma and Special. And he had said like, basically, hey, like, I just don't know if I can do it. And I was like, what do you mean you don't know if you can do it? And he was like, you know, with the limitations and stuff, I don't ever like making stuff if I can't guarantee that it's going to be amazing. And I was like, what are you nervous about? And I basically said to him, no matter what, these music videos aren't going to be anything that we'd prefer because we're limited. But if I have a chance at making it as special and amazing as it can be, it's with you. And then after I said that, he pulled out sticky notes and diagrams, basically entire music videos mapped out where he's like, okay, well listen, this is what I was thinking. And I was like, you have all this stuff planned out and you're stressed? This is incredible. I plan on working with him forever on everything as long as he will work with me. Same with the girls, like Ellie and Alina. When I got the email about Billboard, the first thing I did was call Peyton, obviously, and then I called my sister, and then I called Alina because Bad Karma, the entire EP, is as much Alina as it is me. Alina pours her heart and soul into everything she does. Let me go rinse my fingers. Okay, note to self. This dye is a lot more intense than the magenta because my fingers were not this stained when I did magenta, so that's a little nerve-wracking. I've worked with a lot of producers, and a lot of times producers will try to make the song the way they want it, and that works for a lot of people. But with somebody like me, I want a lot of control over the sound, and Alina always takes it there with me. Always. Outside of just being an incredible collaborator, she's an amazing friend. So Ellie too, I'm not discounting Ellie at all because she's amazing. Trying to put this EP together, I was a mess. And I would literally be at the mic getting like irritated and frustrated and worked up and trying to pretend like I wasn't having an anxiety attack, and then I'd break down and sit in the bathroom and sob and hyperventilate, and they just were there. I just really appreciate both those girls a lot. I have incredible friends. I have truly, truly incredible friends who have supported me from the start and just continue to inspire me in every way. And everybody in my life right now is the reason I'm here, for real. And now my hair is fucking green. Next time you see me, I'm gonna be Joker, who honestly I feel like sometimes. Okay, you guys ready? 3, 2, 1. What do we think? I'll tell you what I think. Well, first let me know what you think. Like the video, comment on it, tell me what you think about my hair. I think it turned out pretty great, to be honest, for doing it myself and really not knowing what I'm doing at all. Okay, we're over here now. Is this my favorite color I've ever had? No. Do I look at it and say, oh, that's your color? Like when I looked at magenta, I was like, oh, that's your color. But I feel really excited by it. I feel like it's fun and different and exciting. And every time I change my look like this, I just get reinvigorated and excited, and it pulls me out of a funk. And I've been in a funk. I've been very emotional. And I feel like this was just a fun, exciting thing to do to shake me out of it. And it's cool. It's a color I've always wanted to try. I mean, here we are. What do we think? What do we think? I think it's f***ing sick. It's like Joker, but make it less hot. right? I feel like I should have styled it. Should I go style it really quick? Okay, and ha. By style it, I meant make it flatter and worse. But that's what I do every day, so I guess it makes sense. Can you feel my energy change? People always, stay. The difference between the beginning of this video and now is just huge. It's why I love changing my hair or just doing something to shake myself up every once in a while, because that's just what I gotta do. I need to... Anyways, thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think about the hair. Thank you so much, Guy, for giving me both the dye and the guidance and for being an amazing friend. This is this week's Showstopper of the Week. Am I still doing this? I guess I am. I don't know. Thank you so much for all your support. I love you so much. These are my patrons, my top 2 tiers. Thank you so much to all of you for all of your lovely and dying support. Special music video coming out soon. If you haven't downloaded, streamed my EP, Bad Karma, it's linked down below. So is my book, available for pre-order down below. And as always, I love you very much. Thank you for being a part of my family, and I'll see you next time.